Hi, I'm Linda Ruth from Publishing Dojo, and today let's just take a few minutes to go through a sample site to talk about how they might optimize keywords a little better. I've picked a site that focuses on conservative opinion and conservative thought. And looking at the first page, I'm trying to find any keywords that might bring a targeted audience of people looking for that kind of thought in. The first article has socialist as the main word. This position, the caption of an article or blog, the title of it, the heading, is a very important one for search engines. They're going to look at your site, and whatever is in the top left in the caption position is going to be considered very crucial in terms of search. So looking down, we find the phrase selective modesty, bedtime stories for the Islamic world, whitewashing black racism, 3 cheers for politics. Now let's go to SEO Quake and see what the search engines see when they look at it. They see the phrase selective modesty. They see the phrase bedtime stories, stories for the Islamic world, and so on. Now their top keyword phrase, according to this, is selective modesty. If we go to Google AdWords, we find, looking at this, in the past month, not one person has searched for selective modesty. Not one person. So that's a phrase that might be useful in terms of the editorial content of this journal, but is certainly not useful in showing readers what they want to read. If you look at it, you'll see a lot of phrases having to do with Obama and having to do with socialism, but nothing having to do with conservative thought or conservative opinion. Going across, let's just take another article or blog as an example. 3 cheers for politics. I clicked through to this story, 3 cheers for politics, and I found a number of possible keywords, but just let's start with Islam Jihad and Ibrahim Mahmoud al-Kozi. If any of those terms had been used in the heading or the subhead, there would have been Islam Jihad, which is, by the way, very early in the article itself. There's 40,000 people worldwide and 14.8 in the US alone who searched for that term. And they might have been interested in reading the story, political ideologies, political thought, Islam and democracy even. There's only 3,600 people searching Islam and democracy, but that's a heck of a lot more than are searching selective modesty. None of the phrases that are being searched would in any way, if they were used in any of the headings or subheads here, none of them would in any way violate the charter of this publication or mislead, but to come up with a headline like 3 cheers for politics, that really requires a subhead at least, which is loaded with keywords. Otherwise, the opportunities for search are being missed by this publication, and the only people coming to it are people who already know it's there, or perhaps they're looking for the columnists and the bloggers, and if they're entering that by name, those are people who are already kind of pre-sold on the content. If this publication, this site, wants a consumer audience, an audience of people not pre-sold, if they want to cast their net wider, they have to do some keyword work. And the very simplest first step, it's so easy, it hardly requires thought. The simplest first step is to find some relevant keywords to the people who want to read these kind of articles and put them in the headline, put them in the subhead, and let people know what it is. One last word, it's not so different from the newsstand. For years, I have been trying to talk publishers out of putting terms like selective modesty as the main cover line on their publication. It doesn't give any benefits. It doesn't show the reader what they will benefit from reading the article. It doesn't even tell what the article's about. It doesn't really tell anything. It's just a cute little phrase. Use it secondarily, but not primarily. And if impulse traffic or consumer traffic means anything at all to you on your site, please make some changes in your headings and your subheadings. And I'm going to show how that relates to anchor text in my next video. Thanks. Bye.